Okay, so this is our first group coaching call for June. And I'm just talking about how do we honor when we're really feeling withdrawn, when we're really feeling like life is taking over and we're not focusing on the things we really want to be doing. How do we honor that experience that we're having, and honor how we're feeling without letting it consume us, right? Like without having it fully take us out, you know? And so I'd love to just, hear your thoughts on that and any suggestions you have. I'm thinking about doing a Facebook Live maybe today after this call in the bigger group, and just seeing kind of what's coming up for people. I know certain things that I do, but I think we can all contribute to this conversation because it's real. It's like really happening for people. And I think we all have of ways of pulling ourselves out or what works and stuff. So I would just love to start it off, if that's okay, with you just sharing what you do or what you've seen people do that's effective, to not completely get pulled out of the game, to like keep yourself on track when you're feeling like you just want to retreat, right? So if anyone has any suggestions, I am ready to write them down.
I think for me, having a visual out in the open, so like a bulletin board, and it will have, some pictures, what motivates me. It has like my journal up there, my mom and daughter stuff. And so I keep that in a place where it's constantly visible.
Mm-hmm.
And when I have a rough day, which seems like I've been having more than I really want lately,
Mm-hmm.
I have it there, and sometimes it's in my closet. So I see it every morning when I change. Sometimes it's in my kitchen when I feel like I need it there. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of keep a small, it's not like a vision board, but it's more just like, for me, just it's a visual of what my goals are. Mm-hmm. And just something that whatever inspires me.
I love that because I'm such a visual person myself.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
So having those constant reminders of like, mm-hmm. what's good and what we want to be focusing on, that can help pull us out of that. That's good.
And it's good for our children to see also, because when I can't go to something of theirs because I'm busy doing something else, or, they see that, this is what I'm working on for our family, or this is what I'm doing for me. Yes. So that I could be a better mom. I like to do, running events and races and stuff like that. And I do it because it's my goals, it's my bucket list. And so, if I just pour into them 100%, then I'm depleted. But if they see that I'm doing these things and taking away from them, they see a bigger picture that, mom has to take care of herself too. She's not just here to serve me 100%, which is what they would really want. Mm-hmm. Every waking hour, that I'm here, it's like all about them.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Because, and I honestly really don't think our children would want us to be doing 100% for them. Like, I really think that when they recognize the benefit, mm-hmm. Of us taking care of ourselves and doing things we love also for ourselves, that they would really want that for us, and
they do.
And I love the example that, you're setting by doing that, right? By saying, mm-hmm. I got to fill my cup. I got to do things I love because, it's going to benefit everybody, right? It's going to benefit the whole family. And it also gives them permission to do that too, right?
Right.
So I love that. Just to remember that the things you do for yourself are good, and it's that it's really setting an example for your kid.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yesterday, my son, my youngest, had a big championship basketball game. Mm-hmm. And it was huge. And he was like, Mommy, are you coming? And I had already planned to do this big hike, which was a big challenge for me. And it was like 10 hours and it was amazing. Wow. And I told him, I said, I can't go to your game, but I'm sending people in lieu of me. So grandpa's going, you know, my other friend was going. And I said, so when we come home, when we meet up at night, whether you win or lose, you're a champion. And mommy is not getting off that mountain until she hits the top. So I'm going to be a champion. So we're both going to bed being champions. And he was like, oh, okay. So I think when you explain it and you talk to them about it, he was really disappointed that I didn't get to go. And my husband was like, wow, like this is a really tough decision you're making. You make it. Because I mean, even I got a little slack from a couple people like, you're not going. And I'm like, I made this commitment months ago before I thought that we were going to have this big championship end of the season thing. And he's 7. There's going to be a lot more. But you know, parents these days, they don't miss anything, you know, that they go to every big game and they move their schedules around. And I'm like, I would never get anything done for myself if I did that. And so I explained it to him and he felt like, wow, my mom's a champ too. And so it felt really good.
That's awesome. I love that too, because I know that is such a huge struggle for so many moms. Like they have this, you know, this contradiction, right? Like there's this, like they really want to be there for their kid for everything, partially because they really want to, and partially because they feel like that's the definition of being a good mom, right?
Right. And they feel guilty. They might have guilt too.
Exactly. But then there's this other part of them that's like, you know, I don't want to go to the game. I want to go do it for myself. I want to go on this awesome hike and challenge myself to, you know, and there's also, like you brought up the thing of commitment, of honoring your commitments and like being in integrity with what you say. So that's like a big one for me, because a lot of times when I have a commitment to something and something else comes up that sounds better, right? It's like, okay, do I, you know, pivot here, or do I, you know, I just honor that first commitment, right? And I said I would, and, you know, and really looking at, and really showing our children that we gave our word to something and our word means something, right? And that is such a good lesson for them to see. I mean, they see it every day in how we parent them anyway, right? Because if we're saying one thing and doing another, they're going to see that inconsistency and congruency, and they're going to be like, oh, well, my mom doesn't mean what she says, you know? But when they're seeing examples of you actually like saying, okay, well, I had this commitment before I knew about your game, you know, and it's important for me to fulfill that commitment, you know, that says a lot to them about integrity.
I had to stay firm, because the easy thing for me to do would have been to forget it, go to the game. I would feel no pain, you know, like that would have been the easy choice, to just say, you know what, no. But I, you know, I couldn't do it. That it was a commitment, and it was something I knew that I wanted to do. So
awesome. This is such an important conversation. You know, I think actually what I'd love to do is, I'd love to like host a call where we just invite other moms and we have like a roundtable discussion like this, where we just like bring up a few issues that are super common, like the mom guilt thing, or, you know, just that come up, and like just have a dialogue about them. I think that would be a really cool thing. Maybe
that would be fun.
Yeah, let's schedule that. Let's do like a summer roundtable or something where, you know, we come in and maybe we can even talk about, you know, like how do you make time, like when you're going into the summer, you know, and we're shifting the season, right? Like how do you honor your commitments while you're prioritizing your kids, you know, like that's a big one too.
Right.
So I would love to do that. So I'm going to check with you guys about like when would be good for you. And then let's just schedule it and invite our friends and have like a conversation. I think that just came to me right now as we're talking. I'm like, I think this would be so helpful. You know, I want more people to hear about it. So because there is
good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. All right. So, okay, good. So was there anything else, Jen, on, you know, kind of keeping yourself or getting yourself back on track, or just keeping yourself like in the game?
You know, I think a lot of it too is giving yourself grace, you know, not being too hard on yourself. I've had to learn that, because I used to be an all or nothing. type of person attitude, and you have to be flexible.
Yeah.
And you have to flow with the seasons, and sometimes just be able to step back a little bit, but then also not step back too much, because you need to get yourself back in the game, so you need to allow what you need without totally, blowing it out. And so I think a lot of it is keeping accountable. Accountability has always been a big issue for me. And so, kind of just allowing that flexibility, understanding your seasons, but also being accountable to someone.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you. Amy, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to echo a lot of what Jen said. I feel like I've been reminding myself a lot lately, like, of what season I'm in, with like life stuff, just like relationship stuff too. Like the other day I was like, like someday soon, I'm like, we're going to be able to put we're going to be able to put the boys to bed and like sit on the couch and be alone for like 2 hours. Like, I can't even fathom that right now.
Yeah.
And then with, I'm sure you guys have read like the Miracle Morning book. But like, I loved that book, and I'm like, I can't wait till I can like wake up before the kids so I can actually like have a morning that I'm like, that feels easy. Like right now I'm like, I can barely force myself up when it's like, I have to get up. So I feel like I've been reminding myself, like, this is a short, like, I love what season I'm in, but I just have to like, I can only do so much, and that's okay. Like business wise and relationship wise, I guess. And I've like, I also, this weekend, I like totally unplugged from everything, and I really haven't done that in a long time. And like, hey, you don't want me to talk? And that was like, that felt really nice, like totally unplugging. And then I came back, last night, I like wrote out like my to-do list for the like different things I want to get done this week. And it like made me feel ready for the week instead of like, oh, like it's another week.
Yeah.
I feel like just like being away from it, and then, but not for long, just like, I guess really it was only unplugging for Saturday, I guess. So it was one full day of unplugging, but it felt like a lot.
It makes a difference, right? I mean,
yeah, huge. I didn't post on Facebook. And like the world went on, and I went on, and I had messages to get back to, and they waited a day.
That's awesome.
Fine.
Cool. We got some good stuff here. I'm actually thinking about maybe sharing these as tips in the larger group, and then just like prefacing like, okay, let's do a call, let's do a group call for more conversation like this. Is there anything else, Amy, that you wanted to share?
I think that's, yeah. And then I've just been taking little timeouts, like a shower or like driving the boys around for a nap so I can like listen to my audiobook and have my coffee.
Yes. I love audiobooks.
Yeah. And then just like making sure I'm like enjoying it and not just like doing it to get through it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you both for indulging me with that. I just felt, I'm just feeling inspired to do these things. So that was awesome. See, I got some good notes. Good notes. All right. So let's move in to the coaching part. And this call is, the sort of the open coaching format that we've done in the past, where you can bring anything to the call. And I also want to really encourage you that if you're not clear on your messaging, to utilize this time to get clear on the messaging because it's important. And I know it's a work in progress, so don't feel like you have to have it perfect right now, but I want you to feel like it's good enough for now, right? Like I want you to have that feeling of like, okay, this feels good to me for now. And then next week on our call, we're going to be moving into the next piece of the, kind of foundational stuff, which think next week is your strengths and, kind of what sets you apart from others. So that's what we'll be focusing on next week. So having said that, let's just do a check-in with each of you in terms of where you are in your messaging, and then if there's anything else that you want to be focusing on in this time. Who would like to go first? Okay.
I'll go first. Well,
take it while you can.
Someone seems occupied.
Yes.
Okay, so my messaging, I'm definitely like zooming more into like just speaking to other moms. And I like what you had said on the beginning of the call too about like working out for getting energy.
Yeah.
I posted the last 2 times I posted about my workouts. That was like my whole, like, I didn't sleep at all, but I'm so glad I did my workout because now I feel like a person or whatever, like that kind of thing. So I definitely, that's like how I live my life. So I could definitely be sharing that more.
And also like that example you just gave of like, how do you get up and do it even when you don't feel like it, when you don't feel the energy to do it?
Yeah.
Right? Like, are you consistent with it? I think that's a huge.
Yeah. And just cause like I know I'll feel like I have more energy after. So like, I like that. And then just like still kind of focusing on, I feel like trying to show people that like especially moms, they can spend time on themselves or money to be like better moms, I guess is, or better people.
Okay. So I want you to complete the sentence.
Yes.
So I want you to, so you're going to fill in the blank. So I help blank to blank so that they can blank. Okay. So you have 3 blanks. So I help.
Okay. I help moms.
Okay.
To feel better about themselves. What was the next one?
So that
I help moms feel better about themselves so that they can like show up more for everyone else in their life. Does that make sense?
Okay. So so let's speak to the I help moms feel better about themselves by or through what? How do you do that?
By having them understand they can spend time on themselves.
Okay. And then having them understand they can spend time on themselves. So, okay. I help moms to feel better about themselves by having them understand they can spend time on themselves so they can show up more for everyone else. How does that feel?
It sounds good to me.
Sounds good to you? Okay. So I want you to get more specific with the either like the feeling better about themselves or showing up more. Because is it really that you're having them understand they can spend time on themselves? Is that the goal?
I guess my goal would be to actually have them spend time on themselves, not just understand it.
So you can show them how to spend time, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so show them how to spend. Is there a particular type of time that they're spending on themselves?
Yeah, I feel like I feel like time like taking the time out to do like a workout, or taking the time out, to like feed themselves in a good way. Like, I don't know how to say that.
Okay. Feed self. I like that. Like, feed themselves in a way. It's like, it's almost like feeding their soul, feeding their body, feeding their mind, feeding their heart, or whatever words, language it is. But it's like you show them how to take time to feed themselves so that they can show up more in their lives. And I'd love for you to put some words to, like, because I think they're already showing up for everybody else, but it's really about changing the way that they're showing up, right? So it's more, it's like them showing up more energetically, or with more vitality, or them showing up more, feeling more peaceful inside, or feeling more, balanced, internal balance, or like some of those words, right?
I feel like the balanced, I like that. Like feeling more, or more whole, more balanced, not just like mom, tired mom.
Yeah. So something like, you help moms, or you show moms how to feed themselves. And you could even say, like, I show moms how to feed their mind, body, and spirit, or something. I don't know if you want to use those words, but
I like that.
So that they can show up more engaged, more energized, feeling more balanced, and connected as parents and wives, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But you see how the language getting more specific, because now people can identify themselves in that. They can wrap their head around, okay, that's what she does. I need that, make a connection, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you can go back. I know you're not able to capture this, writing it down right now, but maybe you can go back and listen and together, like just a sentence or two about what you do, right?
Yeah.
And
let me, can you just read or?
Okay. So I kind of don't have it all together, but you could say, I show moms how to feed their mind, body, and spirit so that they can show up more balanced, energetic, and whatever in their lives, or as moms and wives, something like that, right?
Perfect. Yeah, and then I can just work that down a little.
Yeah, like just fine tune that. But do you see the value in that? If you were to say to somebody, like, I can show you how to, create this space, this time that's really productive, that really shows you how to feed your own self so you can show up better, as a mom and as a wife, right? So that's really the core of it for you, right? Like, okay. And then how you do that is through your programs, through your offers, through your, your courses, your whatever, your groups. So, and they don't necessarily need the how in your message statement, right? And Jen, this is for you too, and anybody else who may be listening to this later, is it's really about, like, identifying who you help, what you help them with, right? And then what the, like, sort of what the outcomes are, right? Like, what are the outcomes you can help them with? Because then people are going to go, oh yes, I need somebody like that to help me, achieve that, right? That's what I really want. And then it's the conversation about the how, and that's what you do on a sales conversation, right? So, okay, awesome. So I'd love for you to have, and this will be for everybody as well, is you're going to have your little sentence or two that says, who you help and what you do. And then I want you to each write down 10 talking points. Okay. So and I want you to post them in the group. So I want you to post your statement and then your 10 talking points that relate to what you do and how you help people, right? So is that clear? Does that make sense? Do you know what you're supposed to be doing?
So
say that again.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to write your statement, and then you're going to write 10 talking points that relate to to the work that you do and how you can help people, right? The results, the outcomes. So this is for your messaging. It could be for your social media posts. It could be for your videos. It could be in your emails. It can be, for whatever you're doing across the board that's going to engage people. I want you to have 10 talking points, okay?
What's an example of a talking point?
Yeah, so for you, Jen, an example of a talking point could be how to, you're going to talk about how to, and this is actually both of you, okay? So how to create your self-care regimen in 10 minutes a day or less, right? Like how to care for yourself, how to, not forget yourself as you're caring for others every day, right? How to make that sacred space for you every day to connect with yourself, right?
Okay.
Something like that. It could be, like with Amy, the things she'll touch on nutrition. She's going to touch on exercise. She's going to touch on maybe rest, things like that. So her talking points could be around that. I just create like subjects, kind of like themes or topics, and then we can fine tune the messaging, right?
Okay.
So if you just have like, okay, I want to talk about self-care. I want to talk about connecting with your daughter. I want to talk about, health, personal time, organization, like you're an event planner, Jen. So what in there can you talk about that would help moms, right?
Yeah.
Like what skills do you have that could help moms?
Like just looking at my notes here, like how to create a balance between home and work life.
Yes.
Juggling work and being present with your children.
Yes.
How to create a balanced schedule, time blocking.
Yes. Perfect.
Understanding how important self-care is, how to take care of yourself, filling your tank so you can take care of others. So stuff like that?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because now you can write articles, you can do Facebook posts, you can do a video, Facebook Live, you can do a webinar, you could teach a class, you could whatever because of these topics, right? So, and then these are the things you're going to keep going back to when you're like, I don't know what to say.
Okay.
Right? Then you're like, okay, let me go back to my list. And even within the topic of self-care, you could find like 20 different angles to take with that, right? That you could talk about, and it wouldn't be rehashing the same stuff. So, but I want you each to have your buckets, right? Like Amy's buckets are nutrition, exercise, mental health, self-care, right? Like these are your buckets, okay? And then within each bucket, you're going to have a series of things you could talk about, right? Okay. So I want you to list those. I'd like you to do that as soon as possible, is go on the group page and say, here's my statement, here's what I do, and then here are the things that I talk about, right? These are my buckets, or these are my talking points, okay? Okay. So, so Amy, just to wrap up with you on this particular subject, is there anything else, like how good are you feeling about your messaging, the clarity that you have on it right now?
Yeah, I'm feeling good at it. I feel like I'm starting to like bring it into my posts. Definitely not like, I would say there's still room for improvement.
Of course.
But yeah, I feel like it's like getting into my brain more, like more clear.
And is there anything you recognize you could use help with right now?
I don't think so.
Okay. Specifically on the messaging part.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Drooling on me. Yeah, I think I'm good for now. I think it would be good to write the 10 things out too.
Okay, good. Okay, awesome. All right, and then we'll come back to you if there's anything else, if there's something you want to focus on, okay? Jen, let's look at your messaging. How are you doing with that?
I have my notes somewhere and I can't find my notebook.
Okay.
I'm a little disorganized right now because I just am. I just am. Anyway, I need to spend a day to organize. But so I'm looking at kind of like my previous notes. So this statement here is probably not the final one, but this is where I'm at. We can kind of work with this.
Okay.
So I kind of have two versions here, and I think we've worked on this a little bit before. But I'm looking at my notes when I was when I was doing this.
Okay, so just read both of the versions.
Okay. I support moms to create deep bonds with their daughters while raising strong, confident girls and reaching their full potential while feeling balanced and supported in their home and work life. That's a very long run-on sentence.
Okay.
The next one is something like, I support moms to create a deeper bond with their daughters while raising strong and confident girls in order to reach their full potential. All the while empowering moms to feel balanced and supported, period.
Okay, so you support moms to create deeper bonds with their
daughters.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what else?
And we're doing the second one, right? Did I say it too fast?
Sure, either one.
Okay. Yeah. I think the second one, let's see. I support moms to create a deeper bond with their daughters while raising strong and confident girls in order to reach their full potential, period. All the while empowering moms to feel balanced and supported, period.
Okay, and what is the first one?
I support moms to create deep bonds with their daughters while raising strong, confident girls and reaching their full potential while feeling balanced and supported in their home and work life.
Okay. In home, work, life. Okay, so basically you help moms create deeper bonds with their daughters. You help them feel balanced in their home and work life. You help them feel supported, right? And you help them reach their full potential. So when you're talking about reaching full potential, what are you referring to? Is there something specific?
Well, it's kind of dual. It's their full potential in their relationship with their daughter.
Okay.
Because as I talk to moms, sometimes they're just kind of like barely getting through. They have a good relationship, but they're not really putting in all the work, or they're not sure how. So they aren't really meeting the full potential of what their relationship really could be.
Yeah.
And also a full potential as a mom. Sometimes you're just like, I just got to get by. But there's so much more to that, because you can, if you value yourself, you are going to strive to be the best that you can be as a mom. And also, if you are working or you want to somehow get back into a work life or creating a business from home. So there is definitely more potential there. And I find that sometimes moms just get into a little like, okay, I'm just mom, I'm fine, and I'm doing great. But when I changed my thinking from just like, okay, I'm going to be a great mom, I'm going to do what I can, when I realized there's more potential for me as a whole in all areas of my life, I feel complete.
Okay. So if you were to say help them feel balanced in their home and work life, would that cover for you them feeling like they're meeting their potential? Or is that something different?
I do feel that, I think one of the struggles that women have is balancing a home and work life.
Yeah.
Whether you work from home, whether you have young kids like Amy, whether you are like me, that's kind of a little bit of both and transitioning to more teenagers, and whether you work 40 hours a week or more. So I feel like once you can create that balance and do a little inner work as a mom, it's you are taking yourself up a level as far as reaching that potential.
Okay. So what if you said, I support moms to create deeper bonds with their daughters and increase their confidence as parents while feeling balanced in their home and work life?
Let me write that down. I want to look at it. Say that again.
Okay. I support moms to create deeper bonds with their daughters.
Okay.
And increase their confidence as a parent.
Okay.
While feeling balanced in their home and work life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Say it one more time just to make sure I got the wording right, because I want to read it back.
I support moms to create deeper bonds with their daughters and increase their confidence as parents while feeling balanced in their home and work life.
Okay. I support moms to create deeper bonds with their daughters and increase their confidence as parents while feeling balanced in their home and work life. Yeah, I think I like that. Because I wasn't sure if I don't know how people feel about reaching their full potential, because some maybe just don't care. So it's I think I do like that it maybe is taken out, because then it's like, well, gosh, I think some might say, well, I've already reached my full potential, whether they have or not. But
whether they have or not, it's about, it's people aren't going to pay, reaching your full potential. That's like a coachy word, right? Like that's
right.
A word that doesn't have a lot of for people. They're like, reach my full potential.
Right.
What does that mean? So that we know that people want balance. They want work-life balance. Like that, we know that, and they're willing to pay for that. And in helping them create that work-life balance, and then helping them increase their confidence, right? You will help them reach their full potential. So you're really accomplishing what you're setting out to do without actually saying that.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Right. And so I really like this version because there's really concrete things in it that are going to draw people to it, right? Like they want a deeper bond with their daughter. They want to be more confident as a parent, and they want to have work-life balance. And if those are the things you help people with, if those are your core things, let's leave out all the other fluff. Let's leave out all the other stuff. Like this is so clear and concise to me, and it really speaks to like what you do and how you help people. So if it feels good to you.
Do you think if I'm saying while feeling balanced in their home and work life, do you think that it would not resonate with a mom that doesn't work? Because she might just need balance within her home. But if she sees, balance in their work and home and work life, well, I don't work, so I don't need that. Do you think that would be? No,
I think that people are going to read what resonates with them. So like, let's say somebody hears these three things and there's one of the three things they really need and resonate with, they're going to be like, oh, Jen can help me with that. Like, I So I totally think, I know we get really nervous about excluding people and being too specific with our language. I promise you, this is a lesson I'm learning, but the more specific we get with our language, the more we're going to hit home with our ideal people.
Okay.
And, so try it out. Like I want you girls to like, get really specific with your language and really target in on who you work with and how you help them. And then let's start putting it out there, right? So you can start throwing that net out and attracting who you're meant to attract. And I want to go back to Jen, you asking the question, or when you made the comment about, well, what if people feel like they've already reached their full potential, right? So that goes back to the question of who are your ideal clients? Because you're not here to serve everyone. And the more specific you can get in terms of who you want to work with and who you can help the most, that's who you're going to attract, right?
Okay.
And so do you want to work with the woman who feels like she's already reached her potential?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, does there have to be a certain level of openness to her for that, for you to work with her, right? Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, we're not here to work with everyone. And there's plenty of people who want exactly what we have to offer.
And I do feel like I attract who would be my ideal client. I do. I run into people and I start talking and it's like this conversation starts. And so I do feel like, you know, really putting myself out there that I mean, I do it all the time. I just, you know, do a lot of it for free. So, but I mean, I just have moms who are constantly calling me about things and, you know, and stuff. So
Jen, here's like, I keep going back to like, you know, you having that membership program or that monthly group, like, oh my gosh. So, because with these moms that are constantly calling you, you could say, oh my gosh, this would be so great for my group. Like, this is exactly the stuff that we talk about in there. I'd love to have you join, you know, and then you stop giving away your time and expertise for free and you can start monetizing it. And, you know, with your group, if you just depending on how you structure it, right? Like depending on how you have it we'll look at how you want to price it, right? So, you know, maybe you just want to do a once a month, low cost, you know, kind of support group-ish type of thing. And maybe it's something else. And I know we've talked about this a little bit before.
Right.
But I really feel like this is a super easy way for you to begin monetizing right now. Like you don't even have to have a system in place. You can just start a group right now and invite people to it and say, we're going to get together once or twice a month and we're just going to talk about, you know, how do you find balance and how do you connect more deeply with your child and how do you feel more confident in who you are and what you're here to do, you know? And I promise you there's value in that for people. And if they're coming to you all the time, they obviously see you as a leader. They see you as a confidant, you know, as a trusted friend. And, you know, it's like, it's all right there, you know, so you just need to say yes to like, okay, I'm actually going to monetize this. Right. And feel good about it because I know that you have been in a position where you're building, you know, where you're trying to put all the pieces in place and you're building to have your journal and, you know, you do your workshops and stuff like that. And we've also both discussed like having a way for you to make ongoing, like recurring income, right? And this is a super duper easy way for you to do that. And what you can do is, you know, and this can be like your test group. So as you come out with your journal, as you come out with your bundle boxes, you can offer these as like super duper bonuses for people that are in your group as you know, they can test them out for you, this built-in community. And then you can even increase your prices and add things onto your program as you go. It doesn't have to be perfect and all built out right away, you know? Okay, typing this to see if I like it. Okay, so I show moms how to feed their bodies, minds, and souls so they can show up more balanced, connected, and energized for their kid. Oh, I like that. For their kids, husbands, and themselves. I like that. How do you feel about that, Amy? Now that you
I just jumped on your time, Jen.
That's okay.
Don't worry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was just sitting here trying to figure out because I wanted to have for themselves in there, and the way I had it written before, I couldn't like make that work. And it's funny because you didn't want to like exclude the people who are at home. I was so nervous to write husbands because in my mind, I'm like, well, what if they're divorced or what if they're a single mom or what if they're not married? But I was thinking that right as you were saying, like, you know, they'll read the part that resonates with them.
Yeah.
So I kept it in.
And some of them may aspire to someday have a husband, and you know, and they want to know, how do I do that, right? And so, and yes, so, but how does that feel to you after having written it?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So read
Can you say it again?
Did you want me to read it?
Yeah.
I show moms how to feed their bodies, minds, and souls so they can show up more balanced, connected, and energized for their kids, husbands, and themselves. I wasn't sure if it should say "and for themselves." That's probably such a small part.
I don't think it's necessary.
Do you need to put like through nutrition or exercise? Like, do you need to put any of that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that's the conversation that comes. Like, this is kind of the bait, right? This is like, ooh, how does she do that? Like, I want them to see it and go, I want that. Like, how can she help me feed my body, mind, and soul so I can be more energized and connected, you know? And then that's the next step conversation that Amy has with them, right? Like, here's how I do that. I do that through exercise, nutrition, you know, creating space for yourself to connect every day, whatever, right? Like, would you, if you read that, Jen, would you be like, ooh, that sounds interesting. Like, I wonder how she does that.
I think that I would be interested, but I don't know if I would reach out if I didn't know exactly what it was. Only because I'm kind of like, get to the point with me. Like so that's just how I am. And I get a lot of information. So if it's too long, if it's not more to the point, I'm lost. I don't like reading long things.
Yeah, most people
but
don't.
That's, you know, I'm like, that might just be me. And I kind of like to know a little more it would depend also the mood, when you hit me, how many times I saw it, that kind of thing. If I went, okay, you know what, I really need to know what she's doing now. So I think I would get there. I don't know if I'd get there initially, just because to me that could mean anything. Is it counseling? Is it coaching? Or is it a product? Is it, you know,
yeah, and I think that's like, you know, with Amy fully building her brand, you know, she's going to be like, all her posts are going to be hitting on different things. And
right.
People know, like, when you look at Amy, you know what she does, right? It's clear. What she does, so you're not going to be guessing. So this,
well, I'm just thinking if it was like someone who doesn't know what she does, or if she, you know, I don't know. Yeah. I like it as is. I just wasn't sure if it needed to be a little more specific or not.
Well, I think even if this were a conversation starter, like Amy just met somebody and they didn't know what she did. And she said this, they would be like, oh, really? How do you do that? Right? Like, that would be the next natural question. So
exactly. Yeah.
It's, you know, this isn't meant to be like the end all for everything, but it's just like, how do you pique people's interest enough, and how are you clear enough in what you do that so somebody could say, ooh, yeah, that speaks to me, right? Like, that resonates. And then you take them into the next level conversation, whether that be through, you know, on social media, through a private message, through a face-to-face conversation. It could be that she could use this, you know, in her bio, or for, like, if she's being interviewed for a summit, or, you know, whatever, like, she could do this. And then, of course, she's going to go into her teaching, right? Into her showing you how, kind of.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So I think that's awesome, Amy. So why don't you sit with that and see how that really feels to you, and check in with your body to see, does it feel like a full body yes, or does something want to be tweaked still? And, you know, just let your body feel it, not your mind.
And post that in the group.
Yeah.
So I could see it again.
Well, that's her job, is to post that with her 10 speaking points, and yours too. Okay. So you guys each are going to post yours. So let's go back to you, Jen. And I want you to read yours again and see how that feels to you. Like, try it on.
I support moms to create deeper bonds with their daughters and increase their confidence as parents, while fully balanced in their home and work life. It's not flowing. I think that last little chunk is either missing a word or a comma or something like that. I support moms to create deeper bonds with their daughters. Should I put while increase? No, let's see. I support moms to create deeper bonds with their daughters and increase their confidence as parents while feeling balanced in their home and work life. Maybe it just needs more of a pause, or
I want you to, I don't want you to get hung up on how it reads. I want you to more feel into the words. Okay. So like, are these the right words for you? Does this feel true for you? Does that
yeah. No, I like this. Definitely. It's
Yeah.
kind of what I've been playing with and just kind of tweaking words. So it has like my words in it for sure. The only thing that I think is missing would be connection, especially if my mom and daughter group is the mom and daughter connection. I feel like maybe I could put that word in here also, because that's my biggest value and what I really is a lot that I will be teaching on and speaking on and stuff like that.
So I think we discussed this before, like the deeper bonds is speaking to the connection piece.
Okay.
And if you actually like the word connection, you could change that out and put create deeper connection.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I might.
Okay.
Let me say it out loud and then tell me what you guys think. And then you tell me how it sounds to you, Amy. I'll say it both ways. I support moms. Oh, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
No, I just thought it was funny. I just wrote deeper connection too.
Oh, did you?
the bond is like go ahead.
I support moms to create deeper connections with their daughters, a deeper connection with their daughters, and increase their confidence as parents while feeling balanced in their home and work life. I support moms to create deeper bonds or a deeper connection.
One question I have real quick before we move on is, I have a question about the confidence piece. So is it important for you to have the word more confidence as parents?
No, you know what?
More confidence.
It's not even confidence as parents. Where I had it in my thing is confident girls. It had nothing to do with parents. So no, we changed it to confidence as parents when that wasn't even in my initial thing was raising strong and confident girls.
Right. But what you're doing is you're working with the moms, right?
Right.
And so you can't necessarily teach them how to make their girls confident, but you can show them how to be more confident and show their daughters what confidence looks like.
Yeah.
Right.
I do. Okay. I get that. But then I also think that moms are very interested in how they can raise a strong, confident woman as their daughter. I think sometimes moms, it's a little overwhelming for them. So that is something I think that attracts them also, is like, oh, okay, if she can show me how to strengthen our connection and to create a strong, confident daughter, like, how do I do that?
Well, right. So, but would you agree that starts with the mom?
Oh, I mean, definitely, because if we're confident, it's only going to reflect who we are.
Yes.
To our children and help them.
Is that something that you would actually help the moms with, is increasing their confidence in themselves?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But is that something, if you read that, is it just like, oh, okay, another confidence speech? Like, is it something that's even like overdone at this point?
I hear very often, I hear women and women saying that they want to be more confident.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that women recognize that they don't have, right? Like, okay, I don't feel that confident in myself or in my parenting ability or in my ability to start my business or, whatever it might be. It's like this confidence thing. And, like Kim, she's a confidence coach. Like she's, calling herself that. And so, and a lot of people are attracted to her for that because they want to like increase their confidence. Right. And so this could be a question you could ask your community and say, is increasing your confidence, is that something that's attractive to you? Is that something you would want to do? Or, and you can ask them just in general, or, even as a parent, in their parenting. Because my distinction was like, Do we want to put the word increase your confidence as a parent, or just in general, like help you increase your confidence? You know,
right. Yeah. And I think in general, I think is a good point because, yeah. So, and help increase their confidence.
Okay, so let's take out the word as a parent. I want you to just try this on and sit with it for a couple days or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without overthinking it, just, you know, write it, say it. I support moms to create a deeper connection with their daughters, and increase their confidence while feeling balanced in their home and work life. It's so concise to me, like that. Really, it's like bam, bam, bam. Here's the thing to help people with.
Right.
You know, I don't know. It feels good to me. I want it to feel good to you, though. Yeah. So, and I also don't want you to overthink it. Okay. I want you to try it on and say, if this really covers the basis for me of what I do and help people with, then I'm going to run with this, and you can tweak later. Like tweak, you know, you can always refine and tweak later. But just like with your logo and your other stuff, it's like, and the name and all of that, you know, it's like you can think and think and think and think and think. And
yeah, forever.
Right or perfect. And, you know, but let's just choose something that feels good or good enough for now and move forward, right?
Okay.
Okay. So I want you to write it in the group and then put your 10, you know, talking points or buckets, you know, in there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So is there anything else you need? Like, how else can I support you with the messaging piece?
Can't think of anything right now.
Okay, so you're feeling pretty clear on, you know, who you help, how you help them, you know, what your focus is, and then sort of how you talk about that, right? Like how you express that.
Yeah, I mean, I help women, in particular moms, and how I do that would be through events, coaching, and products such as a journal and my connection box. And I have some talking points already.
Okay.
I'll just fine tune them and add to it a little bit. I have it here somewhere.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, here. Yeah. But I think it would be good. I'd love to get like these 10 things and then just kind of have it be like main topic, and then maybe bullet point it, and then either write something, you know, do a video on it, turn it into a talk for speaking, and stuff like that. So I think I like that idea too.
Okay, good.
So, and this is something that's kind of doable. I can just do it while I'm sitting in the car picking the kids up from school. Right. You know, it's kind of like jotting down my thoughts.
Exactly. You know, ladies, we are creatives. We have no problem creating like content. We have no problems creating language and, you know, things like that. Like we could do it while we're just sitting, we have 5 minutes and we're sitting there. We could jot down all kinds of ideas, right? Yeah. So like, don't make this be hard.
Right.
Just do it and then post it. And then in doing that, you're moving yourself forward and you're also getting support and feedback, right? Like, so then we can say, okay, here's how we can fine tune that. And then the next step is to create a plan, a visibility plan around it. Right? Like here's the messaging. And we're also, you know, and then we're looking at your strengths and what makes you stand apart. And that's going to increase your confidence, and it's going to help you in your messaging of how to position yourself and what you do. And, you know, we're going to look at your target audience. So we're going to get more defined on that. So you know exactly like who they are, what are their problems, what are they looking for, what do they need help with. We're going to look at, you know, your offers, right? So when you know what you stand for and what your message is and who you help and what they need, then you can create offers that solve those problems for them, right? And if you create the offer before you know who you help or what they need, then it may not land, right? Like you may be doing a bunch of work for nothing. So we want to do it the other way around, where we do that and then we look at our offers, right? And they have to be solving a problem that your target market has, and would be willing to pay for. And then we'll look at, what's your lead magnet, the first step that's going to get people in the door with you, that's going to say, yes, ooh, I want that. And it's going to take them down a path where they're going to get to know you more and ultimately lead to one of your offers. And, and then ultimately looking at your funnel, right? So what is that path that you're going to take them down? And you may have multiple paths. So if you have multiple offers, you may have multiple funnels for that, right? And that's how you monetize. That's how you make money. And, and the more clarity you have on this. So this is a process, good work, both of you, really good work on like digging into the messaging. And I feel like it's getting really solid and clear for both of you. So let's just kind of refine a little bit more even, and take the next step of like, okay, what are the things that you're going to start talking about out there? And, and just going back to your why, like why you're doing this in the first place and why you care about helping moms, right? Why you care about helping them be more healthy or feel more connected or more balanced or, all of these things. And when you're clear on your why, I want you to speak to that why for people, like that might be one of the first videos you do. You might say, I got into what I'm currently doing because I struggled myself, and I felt alone, and so I wanted to create something. Once I learned how to pull myself out of that, I wanted to create something that could help other moms, and I feel really passionate about it because I don't want anyone to feel the way that I felt. I want to create more ease for people, more connection, and for people to feel more supported, and not feel alone in this. Because so many of us moms feel like we're alone or we're the only one going through this challenge or, whatever, and it's not true. So, to be able to tell your story like that and to share a little bit about you, like that's probably the first assignment I'm going to give you both when you start putting yourself, you not start putting yourself out there because you both do that, but just from this new lens of what we're creating here with the messaging and stuff. Okay. Okay, cool. So we have about 20 more minutes. So if there's anything that either one of you want to get feedback on, coaching on, just want to bring to the table, then let's do that. Let's take advantage of the time we have right now. And I'm going to actually give you a minute to think about it. I'm going to go to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay, me too.
More water. Okay. Little break. High break. back whenever you ladies are. All right. Okay. So.
I was just going to say, can I say something quick to Jen?
Yeah.
It's funny, like I feel the same way like when I look at all my words, but I know if I had a daughter and I saw your statement, the only part that I would need to look at is that deeper connection like with my daughter. Okay. Like if I saw that, I wouldn't even like you talk about you only see the part that you like really care about. Like that would be the only part I would look at and I'd be like, oh, okay. Like I wouldn't even matter what the bottom said.
Yeah.
Which is just funny. I know that I'd look at that and be like, yes, that's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah,
thank
totally.
you. I really think that is the key to what I do because that's really my main focus.
Yeah.
It's not as my secondary would be, you know, working with moms, but really my main focus is my mom and daughter connection.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I want. And through that is working with, you know, the moms and helping them through their relationship, up leveling who they are.
Yeah. And I agree with Amy. And I would like to see you really claim that space, you know, because it is what you're so passionate about. Mm-hmm. And there aren't a lot of people that are focusing specific on that in the space, you know?
Right.
And like, I'm waiting for you, waiting for you to just claim that. Okay. Yeah. And here's an example. I just want to share with you an example. If I can just be completely like, you know, honest with what I see, is that there's something maybe holding you back from completely claiming that as your expertise, as your niche, you know, your area that you're really focused on. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, when you went to go speak, right, or when you were going to speak that it got canceled, and you were creating your talk, and I was encouraging you to really claim it around, you know, creating more connection with your daughter, and you were, I don't know, I think you were a little afraid of doing that because you're like, well, what if